Trenches Podcast.
No, one of the things, bro, I wanted to ask you. Well, you kind of touched on it, like utility after you have it, like after you own it. It's so funny, bro. I was telling my mom, I'm like, yo, mom, do you like this one? Like, I'm kind of might buy this one, and she's like, well, like, what is it? I'm just like, well, you use it for, it can be used as certain things. You can attach it to whatever. But she's like, what if I can just take it? Number one thing people want to say is they take a screenshot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
so
they can.
Right. But like, what is your response to that when people say that? Like, cause I that's where I always kind of get stuck, and I'm just like, I mean, I own it, but
Let me just do a little exercise here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you this NFT that I own. I'm going to using that same logic.
Yeah.
I'm going to show the camera this new thing that I just stole. It's the Mona Lisa, where I copied and pasted that picture of the Mona Lisa. Isn't that crazy that I just stole it?
Yeah.
I guess can't hear me anymore. Sorry, the point I was making was around basically any piece of art can be copied and pasted that way. Even whether it's in a digital way like this Mona Lisa that I just showed, or a Jackson Pollock, which is usually just paint spotters on a piece of canvas, whatever it may be. The ownership is more it's intrinsic in the verifiable version of whatever it is that's being presented. And so that verifiable version, like that JPEG I can put on Twitter, which then someone can take and put it on Facebook, which then someone can take and post it on Instagram. Like that JPEG's that's gone. Like that's off in the cyberverse. But no one would argue that is the legitimate Mona Lisa, despite it being copied and pasted everywhere.
Right.
It goes back to the verifiable way of proving that, which in the case of NFTs is on the blockchain. So it is a immutable, which means it can't be changed, and a verifiable, which means there's clear evidence of it that ties to a digital wallet token that is represented by the JPEG itself. So anything that anyone copies and pastes, clicks and drags, right click saves, like you're not taking the NFT, you're taking the JPEG representation of that token, but that token always traces back to the original owner, which lives in the blockchain.
Right. So it's like I can take a screenshot of your ape. That doesn't mean I'm going to get into these yacht parties.
Correct.
See?
You can try though.
I mean, bro, we might as well. I'm just kidding. The verification process, like after you buy, because that's I went on OpenSea, I bought it, I sent you a screenshot, and I was like, okay, like what now? Like how? Like you're like, it's just gonna go to your. I think I was talking to somebody else, and I was like, he's like, it's gonna go to your wallet, and then from there you see everything, and then I went on OpenSea, I searched it up, and it's like owned by Chewy Tubler. Yeah, I'm like, damn right,
it's real now. And don't you forget it.
Yeah.
No, I mean I don't necessarily have the technological answer to that. But ultimately you probably went on Etherscan, which is like the hub for all Ethereum transactions. That's going to stay there forever. And obviously you go on OpenSea, which is a more centralized platform interface that allows you to see. It basically pairs, okay, I know this wallet owns this token. I know this token is represented by this JPEG. Thus, I'm going to pair these things together. I see an OpenSea, okay, this lion is owned by Chewy Tubler, and that's what everyone understands. But it lives as a token on the blockchain, which is then attributed to your wallet. And you would have to conduct a transaction of some sort, whether that be a sale of the asset, whether you send it to someone else, or whatever it may be, to remove that. Like no one can come in and change the blockchain where that lives such that you would lose ownership of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like if I steal your Rolex, I mean, that's just mine now.
Yeah, exactly. But unless there's like, obviously there's nefarious schemes around scams and tricking people, which exists in every industry and every culture. But just this one's a little bit more new, so people aren't exactly used to how you get scammed and don't really know what to look for. But beyond that, there is no way that someone can change the blockchain, surely. But beyond that, manipulate things such that they could then take that from you without your permission.